what is up, guys? It is your boy X Claymore Lord X coming to you with another video. I do want to apologize to everyone for the last video. I just talked to one of my friends, Anime Shay, and he said he's going to help me out with the editing for my videos and stuff. So Claymore is here to stay. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is the second time, but I will guarantee you it is the last time. I will stick here until YouTube is not a thing anymore. Alrighty, so as you can see in the video title above, right here, there, I'm going to be talking about...
And his brain went out the door.
Nah. I'm going to be talking about what I like to call inner peace. Now, a lot of y'all guys and girls may or may not know, I actually am a very stressless or stress-free kind of guy, and I'm always happy. I rarely get mad. I rarely get sad because I've found, you know, inner peace. I'm gonna try to put it right there. In this video, I'm going to kind of be like explaining how to get said thing, but it's easier said than done because it takes a while to get, but once you get it, I guarantee you it is the bomb, you know. So let's dive into it. So the first thing you want to do, in my opinion, from what I've done, is change your whole mindset. Whatever you're thinking or you know, trying to think about Just don't think about that. Think of, like, instead of being, I don't care what people think, or I don't care about anything, I'm doing me, I'm gonna do me, you know, that whole mindset, change it. Because when you think of the whole, I'm gonna do me, you're basically saying, I don't care. And when you don't care, you actually subconsciously do take in what they think about you. So instead of saying, I don't care about anything or about what they want, you know, what they think of me, more think about, I don't care what they're trying to do. Because most people, they try to get validation. So like, say me, as a regular person, I'm trying to get validation from some other person, and when I don't get that validation, it makes me sink even lower than what I already am. And when I get the validation, that's when I feel a little bit happier, but only for a time. Because now I'm thinking, okay, I'm only valid for X amount of time, and that guy never told me, or that girl never told me how long. So then you ask someone else, or ask that same person again. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done this one time with a person. I asked this person a couple times in like a couple days that we were still friends. But, you know, I'm not going to say anything about that. That person knows who I'm talking about. Insert joke here. But stop seeking the validation. You want to seek self-validation. You know, if you think you're good enough, that should always matter. And don't worry about what they think. Once you get that going, once you start worrying about what you think you are and how good you think you are and all those type of things, next, you want to stay away from social media. Stay away from the news, because there's a lot of negativity there. There's, you know, people complaining about how their life sucks, or how school life is sucking. That's what she said. Anyways, and you know, you want to stay away from the news, because it's always a person got robbed, or a person got stabbed, or this person died, or, you know, some terrorist group is doing some terrorist things. But I do admit that, you know, you do have to keep some form of up to the know, but just don't let it affect you in a negative manner. Because once you take it to heart in a negative manner, there's going to be a conflict in there, because now you're like, okay, I want to be stress-free, but now I'm hearing all this negative stuff, and I'm taking it personally, kind of, or I'm being more cautious because of whatever's on the news is going on. That you start thinking more negative. You're like, okay, what if, you know, if I go to the store and some robber comes in when I'm there, you know, you start thinking about those type of things, and it starts to affect your, you know, your emotional standpoint. And then next is stay away, not stay away, but prevent yourself from seeking joy from materialistic items. You don't want to be happy because you got something. You want to be happy because you worked hard for whatever you got. You know, you went to work for 40 hours a week, and then 6 months later you finally got to go to, you know, Busch Gardens. Don't be happy because you're at Busch Gardens. Be happy because you worked for it and you know, got to Busch Gardens. When you seek joy in the thing, like a brand new car or, you know, a game system or, you know, any form of whatever things you like to buy, don't seek the joy out of doing, you know, not just buying it. You know, I mean, you can be happy, you know, getting money or, you know, getting, you know, a brand new car or whatever, but if you don't seek the enjoyment out of working for them, it doesn't serve the same purpose. And an example was, I'll give you a good example. When I was 13, I was at a group home one time, and I did a lot of chores around the house for about 4 or 5 months. And because I was doing good, and, you know, I was working hard for, you know, my Christmas present. Come Christmas present, I got a Game Boy Advance SP with a bunch of games. I was more happy because I got rewarded for what I had done. I mean, at the time it was because I got a Game Boy, but when you think about it, I was more happy because of the work I put in, and then I got rewarded, you know, cause and effect. Like now, you know, as you can see all my game systems up there, and I have more back there. It's not that I get enjoyment out of playing them, which I do. Don't get me wrong, but I do. But I get even more when I get to play my games after working, you know, 8 hours a day. And even with the money that I get from working, I get enjoyment from getting the work, or getting the money from the work I put in. Because I'm looking at it, like, yeah, I did this, this, and this. You know, I cleaned the fryers, and I took out the trash, and I took some orders, and now I'm getting paid. You know, I'm happy because I'm working for it, and I'm getting paid. So that's the mindset you should take. You should stay away from negative, you know, information. You should not seek enjoyment out of buying the materialistic things, but working for those things, and just changing your mindset from I don't care about don't care about anything to I don't care about anything they have to say, and I don't need their validation. Because if you look at most, you know, depressed people, you know, emotional wrecks, they're always asking for validation. They're always seeking to say, hey, you know, I'm still a good friend of yours, or, you know, even in marriages, it happens there all the time, with mainly on the female side. I'm not saying it's completely their side, but it does tend to, you know, stay around that area, where the wife's always saying, hey, babe, you know, I'm a fun person to be with, you know, you still love me. You know, that's the basic question, you still love me. And, you know, but once you get rid of those three things and you change those three things, I tell you, and you do this for a couple years or however long it takes you to finally get that repetition where you wake up, you don't care about, you know, anything about, you know, what other people are going to think about you for that day. You go to work, or you do whatever you got to do to make money, and you seek the enjoyment out of that you know, business or whatever you're employed at, and then you get whatever you wanted to buy, and, you know, you'll start to, you know, and stay away from the news, and you start to feel that, you know, that stress being lifted off of you. You know, the drama seems to die out. You know, you don't seem to really, even around negative people, once you've been in it for so long, even negative people don't really affect you as much. Like with me, you know, I can go to my work, you know, workplace at my job, and have a bunch of negative people, but I'm always with a smile on my face. I'm always laughing. I'm always having a good time, because at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, would you rather have everything in the world but have all the regrets as well, or just the minimum but yet have no regrets? That's the biggest question you should ask. So, like, when you're on your deathbed, for, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years from now, do you want to be sitting there like thinking, man, I wish I could have did this better, or I could have done that better? You know, if you're watching this video, you're starting to think that, like, is that what I want to be like? But try it. I guarantee you will enjoy it. But this is your host, X Claymore Lord X, out. Peace.